Welcome back to another episode of the Blitz Break. Happy New Year, everyone out there. I'm your host, Phil Rasmussen, and we're back with another episode. As always, joined by my partner in crime and definitely did not finish the New Year's resolution with a new pair of kicks, Buzz Howard, Mr. Mortgage, Mr. Texan. How we doing? Happy New Year, man.
I have the other shoes in the office, and I forgot to put them on this morning.
I say it every episode, but I cannot not pay attention
They
to
are
it. It's really,
getting
really
pretty bad.
Really bad.
I had to super glue them a little bit.
So bad.
But
they look like what the mortgage industry has been for 2 years.
It's like,
Great point.
right? So I do need to get rid of them for 2026.
I just got to keep harassing you till you cave.
Yep.
I feel like now it's become a thing where you're not doing it because I give you a hard time.
It's on his goals,
that is
Phil.
true.
It's on his goals.
That is true. My last pair of shoes, I actually did it because everybody was telling me to get rid of them.
Yes.
I actually would tape them, and come into the office and just to make everybody,
oh my goodness,
crazy.
Perfect. Well, back also.
Yes, it's been like a couple weeks.
Social media expert, a few weeks
right.
gone. Julie, how was your New Year's?
It was great, exciting. It's kind of uneventful, but great. I'm ready for 2026. Excited about it.
It's here.
Yes,
There's
is.
no way around it. I know. And as long as we survived the New Year's,
Yep.
that's a good start to the year. So, and today's guest, welcoming back a longtime reverse mortgage expert and another influencer across the mortgage industry. Liz, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year as well.
Be back.
So we are
All
all
glittery.
here. Let's jump right. How was everybody's New Year? Like, give me some details on the New Year's. I mean, I know you.
It's kind of crazy as we all get older. It's like I barely made it to 10, and
I'm with you.
I got a text at midnight from my son, and it kind of woke me up. So yeah, I was at home.
Same. Spent the evening with friends, and then kind of
Yep.
went home and went to bed. I know.
Sorry to say, I did not follow that suit. I'm not there yet.
No.
Okay, so
You're definitely not there yet.
So what happened? Is there any embarrassing?
Do you think I'm going to share that?
Yes.
We'll chip away at that till we get you to let the details out.
No, I had a good time. Some friends, and I had a nice dinner. Some people in my group did a little karaoke, and we had a good
that's
time.
fun.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That is definitely a sign of alcohol when karaoke kicks in.
No,
for the most
actually,
part.
not all the
Were there
time.
good
Not
singers?
everybody, I should say. Not
Were there
everybody.
good singers? Because what usually happens
Absolutely
is
not.
it's usually
not.
horribly
No, not.
embarrassing.
It is. And that's why I love to go, because I will never be up there, because then I'm going to look like my husband and my friends. And what the funnest part is sometimes is when you are the only sober one, it's like, I think it's even funnier. So it's good.
A lot of people watching that you get to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I like people watching.
Yeah.
I know I saw a couple, like news segments and, promos for Tahoe. And I had a few flashbacks, did a few New Year's in my past in Tahoe.
Yes,
doing Vegas.
done that before too.
So
Yeah.
I think one of the years, I slept in one of those motels, like right on the South Tahoe Strip with like 17 people
In the
one
same room.
one room. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just a bunch of guys and oh man, bad juju, I'm sure. But
I'm just going to say the good old days.
yes,
Yeah.
that was
all
an
had
interesting
them.
one.
That sounds like my entire college experience.
Right. But
Yeah.
I was at home with the family, and we did the 9 o'clock East Coast celebration with the kids,
yeah.
and then we still made it to midnight, which I was ready to fall asleep at about 9:02, and the kids got like a burst of energy after it, so
job.
we made it.
Yeah, you did.
Right.
Well, you worked late on New Year's Eve.
I did.
I see a beautiful shelf that you built when I was leaving the office. We both worked pretty late, And as I'm leaving, he's starting to build this. And I almost went the back way so that I wouldn't have to help him.
So you wouldn't feel guilty.
So I wouldn't feel guilty about leaving him to build the shelves. But they look fantastic.
Yeah.
They're up.
good.
We got them done. It's one of my greatest traits and greatest weaknesses is my impatience. If it needs to get done, sometimes I'm just going to get it done.
There you go.
Where the hell is Justin?
That's a good point. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know. But so what's like burning for everybody right now is usually New Year's resolutions and goals, things like that. I know for me, I did all the prep work about 3-4 months ago in my head. I kind of just kickstart as soon as he starts getting close to New Year's. But what's the New Year's resolutions for everybody here?
I mean, for me, I just kind of looked at what my goals were last year. I did pretty well with last year and kind of just reorganized and really was realistic this year in what my goals should be. And really, we talked about this, Liz, kind of rearranging our priorities.
Yes.
And I guess when you get older, you really look back and go, what is really important, and how you get mixed up in a lot of the chaos, and you just got to sit back and look at that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I drafted my 2026 goals. More family based.
So do you consider your goals different than a resolution, or do you look at the whole process? These are goals, and look at it that way?
Definitive, like 10 definitive goals that are quantifiable. Like I want this many on this. I need to hit this. Very quantifiable. And then my resolutions, I don't really do them because I fail every time. So I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I just, if that makes sense.
Can I interject here and say that? So I would say probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I stopped even putting the word goals into the whole resolution thing because I think the word goals is overused, and I started to change my verbiage and what I was going to do or change for the following year, which, like Phil said, I start in October. Like right now, today's just another day, or yesterday was just another day for me because I do it so far in advance. But I started using the words commitment or intentions because those were way more powerful than the way that the word goals was used. And it was easy for me to fail. So a resolution, I'm like, what is that? I stopped using that word a long time ago. Goals, 5 or 6 years ago. I brought in words that had more meaning or intentionality.
And more impact.
Yeah, more
I
impact.
love that.
Because then I was only letting myself down more when I'm like, I committed this to myself. I'm the most important person that I have to hold myself accountable. So if those other words don't have meaning anymore, I had to change. And that's the whole thing. You have to be changing all the time, right?
Yeah.
Especially in
That's
this
right.
industry.
The words matter. I mean, intentionality is one of my favorite words. I mean, to me, that I agree. Goals is so commonly used that it doesn't make a strong impact just because it's like a lot of words in our kind of language.
Correct.
Culture and transparency, and there's all these. But when you choose something that's really specific, I think intention is a big thing. Whatever it is you're trying to do, there's a purpose behind it. Correct. And always maintaining that, I think, is also how you maintain a level of discipline and commitment towards something, is that you understand the intention. A goal is nothing without the intention and purpose and reason behind it. So that makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
I think we all just kind of use the phrases, right?
Yeah.
But I actually, people who set New Year's resolutions and they're fizzled out by the 7th day of the year or the 4th day of the year. It's kind of like, why are you even doing that? Type of thing.
Yeah. Have you noticed that the gym, the first week or two, is you get to the gym, you're going, who are all these people?
No.
And then by the third week, it's like, where did all the people go?
So hold on. So I want to say brilliant business strategy. Planet Fitness was all over Times Square. And I'm going, they built an entire business essentially on that premise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're signing
Low
up.
cost subscription. Everybody signs up.
Yep.
It's cheap enough that you go, well, I don't really want to cancel because if I go once a month, it's worth it.
Yep.
And then they have probably an inordinate amount of people. I don't even want to speculate, but you go to a Planet Fitness and it's small fraction of actual members are actually going there on a regular basis, and that's how. I mean, it's a brilliant
That is
business
smart.
model.
That's brilliant.
You know, they also capture, this is a little side note. If you follow any of the van life or camper life type of people where they travel, they're computer warriors that live out of their suitcases. They live in an RV. Almost all of them join Planet Fitness because they're all over the United States. They're extremely cheap, and they have showers and restrooms and all of that. And so you will notice that at any given time, you go to anywhere where there's a Planet Fitness. Out in the parking lot, you'll always notice at night, like all these vans, and because people will stop, park, sleep there, get up in the morning, take their showers there. Because it's, what is it, $19 a month?
It's something crazy. And I was
It's
just
$19.95 a month or something.
I think it's less than that.
I think it was like $14.99 at one point. I think $9.99. I mean, I don't know what it is exactly anymore. I was just like looking at, all the broadcasts and all the hats and all the logos, and I'm like, they're literally capturing
big time
everyone who's their resolution.
That's great marketing right there. Great marketing.
And they're going to get all their.
They got a booth right there on Times
all their
Square.
membership.
Sign up, buddy.
It wasn't more than a booth. All the hats,
or purple, right, and
all
stuff.
the signs. I mean,
so I have to say something. Yesterday, I was sitting at home, and me and my husband are like, probably doing what most are doing, is like watching movies, kind of just like taking that last day of rest until we get ready for what's coming in 2026. But I'm all, if one person says their resolution is to lose weight, I'm going to lose it. I'm like, please don't say that. Just like do something else that you're really going to follow through with. Right. It's the whole weight thing. I think it's just a whole society thing. Like whatever you're happy with.
Right. Well, and I
like
think it's just a common thing. So if you don't have something, you state that, right? Because it sounds good, versus putting thought into what's meaningful. And I think that's the other part of, if you're going to set a goal, have some intentional thought behind it, actually take the time to think about what matters. And then more importantly, the reason you set it, and find a way to make that top of mind so that it doesn't immediately go away. Because as soon as life kicks in and the holiday's over, you get back to living life. And if you're distracted from the why that you set that in the first place, it immediately dissipates. I mean, it's not rocket science. Everybody falls into the same trap. You have to remind yourself day after day what it is that your purpose is for it, right?
Yeah.
And well, I would love to know on the business front, what is I mean, if we kind of look back at the 2025 year in the mortgage and real estate industry, I would say it was definitely a lot of progress in a lot of areas and a lot of buildup that I think we're all feeling like the repeat of the past is looming, right? That moment where like the floodgates kind of open and some things happen because we can feel the pent-up demand, the different things, all the action behind the scenes without necessarily the explosion that we've suffered in years past, where you overnight don't know how you're going to get to all the business. But I think that 25 was an incredibly productive year on our front. How do you guys feel about the year?
I'll chime in on for the reverse side. I actually did yesterday, I did a content day, and all of my scripts that I researched on, reverse is here and it's here to stay. And I know a lot of people haven't really ventured into that segment of the industry, but our industry grew in a different way that I didn't think was going to, let's just say, maybe explode. Most of our business in past years was the traditional FHA reverse mortgage that everybody utilized. Went back, and all of what you see for originations are just the FHA traditional. There was never been like somebody that's kept track of the other programs that are out there. They're proprietary, right? Business has grown in the proprietary segment across the nation 40%. There's that much more business in that segment of the reverse mortgage market, which tells us a few things. It's built for higher valued homes. So I feel like there's going to be a luxury type of need for it. You know, people that are living in huge homes, maybe a lot of property that exceed that value that we can use with the traditional reverse mortgage. Also, like I closed 2 condos that weren't FHA approved. The other programs will allow.
That's an important factor.
Yeah, big time. And so, 30% of my closings were proprietary this year, and I didn't even know it until I went back and looked at my numbers. I'm like, no wonder those deals were so hard. It's different. Everything's hard, but it's just been very interesting to see the growth in that segment of the market. So it's here to stay, and there's a lot of viable uses for it. So it's been really good to see that looking back at the last year.
I'm going to give you guys a chance to comment.
On that?
Yeah.
I agree. What you're probably seeing is like what we've seen in other segments of the mortgage industry over the last, decade really, is if you remember, we used to be really here in Sacramento, really heavy with government loans, FHA, VA.
Correct.
Then the price ranges started to creep up. And then some of the, like you were saying, the idea that condo was not FHA approved. So you're seeing a lot of the terms of what was standard government types of programs not really matching anymore.
Correct.
And so we've seen a tremendous increase in the forward mortgage side, what we call non-QM.
Correct.
A little bit different types of loans, bank statement loans, properties that debt service themselves for rentals and that type of stuff. That's where we've seen the explosion of any kind of increases over previous years. It's not been the normal old Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan that's we've seen huge increases. It's been the other types of loans. So I would say that you're feeling the same things that forward mortgage has felt.
Correct.
What's exciting, and maybe this takes us off a little bit of track. This just it was yesterday or the day before, I listened to KFBK. What do you think I was starting to hear?
Okay, so let's talk about our rebound. You were listening to our ads. We are now APM retirement lending because the scope of the market has evolved.
Yeah.
So yes, we're there.
That's what I was going to say. The scope of it's not just the FHA reverse mortgage. Here you go.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're seeing. And I literally was heading home. I listen to KFBK all the time.
Why,
It drives my son crazy because he's going, they don't have any music on this station. But I go, well, there's a bumper here before the guy starts talking. But I was listening and it perked my ears up.
Yeah.
And your rebrand, congratulations.
Thank you. We're really excited about that because we feel like we've been such a footprint in the local market on reverse, but we're always really ahead of the game, knowing what's coming and preparing ourselves for the next pivot. And now that it's evolved, and there's also programs out there that are not like a reverse mortgage product, right? So they can make a much less principal and interest payment if you're a senior. Some of them, there's a program that's a equity preserve. People are wanting to leave equity for their kids. So let's put that aside with the reverse mortgage and use this amount there's just so many different options now. So we decided to take the reverse out of it because it's really a whole gamut of options that are out there, solutions and opportunities, not only for our consumers, but also for our realtors out there. They're the first point of contact when a client has a problem. Right? So our job in the reverse mortgage niche is to educate our realtors so that then therefore they can help their clients. And sometimes it turns into an opportunity for them. So we want everybody to win. We want the consumer to win and we want the realtor to win. So thank you. Thanks for listening.
Is Sheriff going to do all of the spots? Because it seemed like all I heard was McGinnis. Sheriff.
Oh, no, you mean the host.
The host.
So no, actually, you didn't hear Des and April?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
There's some few snippets. Yeah. So it's not just him. But you have to be really vetted out to be on on that station. So
Oh yeah.
it was
Well,
nice that-
especially to have Sheriff McGinnis
Yeah.
tout your company. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you for that. Thank you for acknowledging.
I love it.
What about you?
Our industry, title and escrow, I think it was pretty, I would say it was a standard year, nothing exciting, but I would say that we went through a lot of transition. I think we saw a lot of acquisitions with big brokerages. I think we saw a lot of efficiencies being put into place. Real estate agents finally realizing like social media automation, this is a real thing and I have to embrace it. So it was kind of for me a year of transition and realization as to what we're really going into in 2026. And I think we're better off for it. We're more educated and we're kind of trying to wrap our hands around it and put systems around it. But I do think there was a lot of change in 2025.
I think this next year is going to be the year of like, you're in it or you're out. You're going to be left
100%.
out with all of the artificial intelligence and everything that comes with that. One of the things that I'm like, I just have to stay ahead of the game. I noticed we went on this trip and my husband, I realized, you know, we're both working in our own offices, doing our own thing throughout the week. And I didn't realize, he's going to kill me for saying this, how non-educated he is on AI.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on right now? And he gives me such a hard time because I'm like always taking a class or going to the next AI, you know, to see what they say. How can I get a nugget here, a nugget there to grasp it the best way I can because it's here to stay. And I was like, you need to put that on your list. That's the 2026 thing for you. Like if your industry, he's a financial advisor, there's got to be classes that your industry is teaching for you to get ahead of the game because I will leave you behind.
Well, I believe in exactly what you were saying, both of you. 2025, I think we'll look back at 2025, and I think that there was several different shifts that happened to our industry. Yep. And you see a lot of positioning. First of all, you know, inventory is up for the real estate agents. And that's kind of a precursor to a market change. But what we saw is a lot of consolidation in the mortgage side. We saw more people leave the industry. And I think that what they're positioning themselves for is this idea of the race to the consumer. So there's a law that was passed, and it will go into effect, I believe, in April, somewhere around April. Don't quote me, but we'll no longer be able to do trigger leads.
Yeah, that's going to be a big deal.
What a trigger lead is, for those that don't know, anytime someone runs a mortgage credit report, there is other companies that buy that information from the bureaus. So let's say Liz goes and is buying a house. Her loan officer runs a credit report. It immediately gets downloaded into these reports. And all of these companies out there have huge phone centers where people are picking up the phone, calling them, hey, we see that you're buying a house. We'd like to, beat that price. We'd like to steal you from the loan officer that's working with you. That is going away. And so now what we've seen is these big wholesalers, big lenders are starting to say, well, wait a minute, if we're not going to be able to get clients that way, what we're going to do is we're going to buy servicers, more servicing. And so Rocket, I don't know, what was it, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, they buy Mr. Cooper. Now, Mr. Cooper's a funny name but they're a huge servicing portfolio. And so now Rocket has this huge amounts of servicing. I don't know how many, 1 out of every 10 mortgages in the United States, they have their finger on. They can reach out to those clients. Then you see, United Wholesale, they buy, what was it, 2 Harbors or something like that. puts them in the top 10 servicers. And so we see all of this jockeying around, because we do feel that next year will be a better year. We'll see slightly better interest rates. They're not, no one's predicting 3% or
Do you really
2%.
think we'll see better interest rates? My husband was talking about that. We were having a conversation about that yesterday. He's kind of my pulse, because I try not to watch the news because there's so much negativity associated with it. But also we have to stay, we have to know what's going on. But when COVID happened, I told him, I'm like, okay, I can't deal with all the chaos on the news. So I'm going to come to you every day. I need you to give me a 1-word answer on my market, on the interest rate market, good, bad, or fair. That's all I need to know, because I can't control it, right? So it took away the anxiety and like the whole, so I still do that. And so I said, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen with rates? He's like, honestly, I see them either staying the same or ticking up. I'm like, oh. And then he gave me a spiel. Sometimes he goes a little off path. I'm like, okay, I just said one word, right? But he gives me enough.
This is the guy that doesn't have AI. You trust him?
Oh, I trust him with my money.
Well, and here's what I think when I say that we're going to have a better year. The Mortgage Bankers Association is saying, well, we'll probably see about a 15% increase in
Right.
production. I don't think that we're going to see interest rates, tank.
Yeah.
I think that what we'll see is slight improvements from here. Not huge, but slight improvements. But every little improvement also takes us further and further away from when people remember 3% interest rates. And this pent-up demand, because there's a lot of people that have sat on the fence for years now going, interest rates are going to get better. Interest rates are going to get better. I'm going to stay in this house for just a little bit longer. Yeah. But the normal cycle of reasons why people sell their house and move, whether it be I'm downsizing, I'm moving to a better school system, I'm retiring and want to get out of California, or all of those reasons have been put off for 3 years. And so there's this wave that I believe will eventually happen regardless of interest rates. That's regardless of,
just hit the nail
of what they are. But if you get just this slight bit of improvement,
yeah,
and it doesn't have to be a big improvement. It could go from 6 1/4 to 6 1/8, and people are going, okay, here we go.
Okay, so let me. So I got a referral, and this will add to your conversation and tell me what you guys are seeing. So I got a referral from credit union, and I called her the day before New Year's, and I said, hey, he came back around. We can do this now. I want to thank you. She's always referring me, and she's always like, one of these days, one will work out. Well, this one's going to work out. So I left her a voicemail. She called me back, and we chatted for probably a good half hour, 45. And she goes, for the last few years, people weren't wanting to give up that low interest rate, but everybody's looking for money, right? So HELOCs, that's been the trend for the last couple of years. She goes, you know what I'm seeing now, which we knew was going to happen. They're taking that first, combining the HELOC because now they need to refinance that loan. And it just kind of keeps everything turning. But at the same time, I don't think that's a good sign of where we are economically and what people are doing with debt and where it's at. So, I mean, are you guys starting to see that now? Because it's been since COVID that it's been 5 years since rates were low.
We've seen an increase in our refinance production. Yeah. Ever slightly. Yeah. We actually just had our best month was December for 2025. And the percentage of refinance is ticking up. But along all of that, we have the highest amount of credit debt that we've ever had.
Correct.
We've got all of these student loans that, parents are looking at their kids and going, oh my gosh, they're going to start taking their money away on their paychecks. They're going to, so there's all these issues that are coming forward. Yeah. We've got so much credit debt, student loan debt. We have all of these other issues, and that's where people are going to go.
So they're going to have to refinance because they've been waiting. So it's not a if, it's when. It's like, I think it's going to happen before anybody thought that we were going to be in the situation that we're in. So
100%.
Well, and you guys just touched on it. The cost of living has taken its toll on people, you know, in every capacity. And that's, you know, where the credit card debt comes from and the realities of you know, the COVID spike, the groceries, the regular living. And
it's here to stay. Come on.
Yes.
Let's face it, because I was telling my husband the other day, you know, we're talking about, you know, how expensive everything is. And it's like, for us, it's going to be a 2-person household. Like, as much as I want to retire, Julie, it's not going to happen anytime soon. But, you know, here's the thing. I'm like, come on, we can take the housing market and just look at that. My dad bought his first home in 1974. He paid $32,000 for that home. He sold it a year ago for over $1 million. Did the price ever come down? Yeah, it had its peaks and valleys, but inflation hasn't worked that way, because when we were kids, a pack of gum was 25 cents. Okay, I'm totally aging myself right now, but it was 25 cents. You could take $1, buy a pack of gum. A pack of gum costs like $2 now, $1.99 for, you know, and my husband's like, I'm not buying that pack of gum for $2. And he's going to wait till it's on sale, buy 4 for whatever. So that's how much we're looking at money and cost of everything. It's not going to come down. I'm sorry. Nothing's ever come down. We might see little drops here and there, like gas right now, but it's
not in California.
Anyways, yeah, right.
Well, and there's also, you're in the reverse mortgage space. How many people are retiring now, becoming reverse that? How many people are reaching the age of 62, which is the barrier for reverse mortgage? How many people in the United States are reaching 62 like on a monthly basis now, or a yearly?
It's now about almost upping of 12,000, where it used to be 10,000 a few years ago.
Is that daily? Is it okay? So 12,000 a day. So extrapolate out those numbers.
Yeah.
No.
I'd have prepared differently if I knew math was involved. But think about this. One of my retirement strategies is liquidating my rental properties. So again, all of these pent up things where all of us are getting older, people are retiring, getting rid of, so that'll be a sale.
But let me tell you something. People are not retiring at 62 right now. They can't.
Not at 62.
No, they're not at 65. The ones that have already retired are having to go back to work or are looking for roommates. Like, this is the trend that I've been seeing. And this is why I say reverse is it's here to stay, because of all of these things. I saw, not last year, the year before. So a year ago in December, I closed my last transaction, and it was a lady who was 82. She was Ubering for extra money at 82. Okay. That was really hard for me to swallow. First of all, should you be driving at 82? Because I see my dad, he's 80, and I'm like, let me drive. I'm good. I'd like to drive. Right?
That is ageist right there.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to take my dad's dignity away.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just like, oh, let me drive. Like, you know, but she shouldn't not be driving at 82, nor she shouldn't even be working. But that's where we're at now.
Shouldn't have to be working.
Shouldn't have to be working.
Yeah.
After the reverse, she's like, I'm done. She was so happy. That made me the happiest person, is for her to not have to get in that Uber. And then by the time it was getting dark, she's like, I can't see at night. So now I have to stop at 5 in the winter. How much money can she make during the day, you know, Monday through Friday at the hours that she can do it? So it was a lot, but that's where we're at with our senior market. So that's why I say it's a 2-person income for us, because of how expensive everything is.
Yep. Pent-up demand.
Correct.
I truly believe that there's so many different forces that are coming together for this pent-up demand for more sales, more borrowing, more all of those things.
Correct.
Well, and that, I think what I look at the industry as a whole, what I see is people who understand that they've been through this 3-year run and are really clear on the idea that I didn't do this to get to the other side and then not have the ability to capitalize when everything starts to happen, and are aware between AI and technology and all the competitive factors that have evolved, what they have to do to up their game, but also preparing themselves very clearly for that scale up moment. And you have that group that's like trying to reinvent themselves, trying to master serving the value and the need now. And then there's a group that's kind of sticking their head in the sand. And that group shrinks year after year.
Correct.
And I saw a lot of that because the group that has stuck their head in the sand has struggled to, survive because they're losing more and more to that
People
group
that
that
are,
is
they're staying
that is
ahead of the
evolving.
game. Correct.
And so it's not as dramatic as it will be when the market really turns, but you can see it. And, since the beginning, when if you're not a real pro, a real advisor, someone that really provides value to the customer, it's a lot harder to win that customer over in a world where the competition is much more fierce, right? Like it's not just because you're a person with a pulse and a smile and
Correct.
can take care of them. So it really inspires me a lot because there's more people that inspire me and want to push that, kind of evolution and growth and reinvention forward. And that has been an enjoyable part of 25 for me, is seeing a lot of that going on.
Let me ask you this, because went to lunch with somebody here at Big Valley yesterday, actually, and said, how was business? How, right? And so I'm like, I feel like in the whole scope of our business, for those people that have been doing, have been originators for 30 plus years, right? And those that, like you said, head in the sand, I'm like, they're putting themselves in retirement as we speak.
Yep.
Whether they want to or not, whether they're struggling for business or not, because you're putting your head in the sand, you're not growing because you're not staying ahead of the game with whatever it may be, socials, AI. So when you have 1 or 2 deals a month, let's just say 2 is good right now. I'll take that.
Yep.
But if you're having 1 every other month because you're not getting out there, you're not connecting or networking or re-educating yourself, any of those things, you're waiting for the phone to ring still when it hasn't rang for 2 years.
3 years.
3.
Yep.
So you're putting yourself in retirement and you don't even know it.
That's
That's
sad.
exactly right.
With, NER said that about 230 agents are going to be leaving the industry this year. 230,000.
Oh, okay.
Did I say two?
Another 230.
230K. Wow.
230K leaving.
When you say you're talking about realtor,
Exiting the business.
Nationally.
Real estate,
Yeah.
not lending.
well, but lending is some of
It's
that
the same-
same thing is
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah, we've had such
outcomes.
a huge,
So that tells you what's happening with the market. And a classic example, I was kind of looking at the Tahoe Basin because we have an office up there and kind of who's dominating in that space. And the agent that was dominating, one of the top 5, works out of Sacramento. Like, how is that possible that you're the top agent up there when you live in Sacramento? Well, it's easy. He's doing his socials. He's working his database. He's following up. He's doing outreach with data. He's doing all of that. So I think we're going to see more of that agents, and I saw that just in Placer County, one of the top agents in Placer is in Elk Grove. How is that possible, right? And that's how, because they're
staying ahead of
so
the game.
networked and staying in the game and just really diving into what that looks like.
That's a
moving
really
forward.
good point about the Tahoe agent, because if you do think about it, I mean, I grew up in that kind of area and everything is a little bit more lax. Like, I call it like the granola, right?
Slower.
Yeah,
It's slower
It is
paced for
slower.
sure.
It's like living in Hawaii. You're just like a little
Yeah.
bit slower pace, but it doesn't mean that the consumer doesn't want an elevated experience based off of some of the things that are going on in the market right now. So putting yourself in a place like that where you're following up, you're doing all the right things, you're staying in front of people. Like, we all know that's the way you're gonna grow.
Yeah, and I dove into this person as a gentleman, and I was looking at how is he getting business up there, but he's providing value to all the people. So his post added value. It wasn't like, I'm a great realtor. It was, here's how to winterize your home. Here's how to do this. And it was all value add. And he was able to capture enough business. Actually, he was in the top 3. I could not believe that.
That's crazy. That's
It's
really good to know.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you just said it. I think the mentality that a lot of people's that I fall into this bucket we're talking about still have is promotion-based social, right? Promoting themselves, talking about themselves, trying to sell in a short versus just provide value, solve problems, give people what they're looking for, give your customer base, your prospects, your database, things that are of value. That is your job. That is what you should be focused on. But there's a disconnect, and I see it all the time when, like, if you're on there, putting an ad for yourself, you really, no one cares. Like, we're saturated with those in our lives.
Okay, so I'm going to be the
This is a
horrible
good
person.
topic.
I'm sorry, because I'm sitting there going, okay, like I am one of those people that if I see somebody do really, really well, like, go, good for you. Like, kudos, congratulations. I love that, right? But at the same time, do people really care? Like, is that what people really care about when you're putting your numbers in on your socials? Like, oh, I was the top producer. I think most people know who those top producers are now that the market's shrunk, first and foremost. But I do feel like it's really hard because most people aren't going to care so much about pumping yourself up. What I've noticed when I switched over one of my socials and started incorporating work stuff into it, which I was really against. I was like, I don't want to use this page for that, but I had to evolve because that age demographic is now starting to kind of show up there. So I'm like, okay, I've got to use this personal page that was just personal, and I got to sprinkle some work in it. What's so interesting is that I'm still not comfortable with oversaturating that page with all work stuff. Most of the stuff that I post gets the most interaction or followers or whatever is all my personal stuff still. So it's so interesting because I'm like, I put a work video up a couple weeks ago and I'm like, okay, like it was educational, kind of talked about what we're talking about here. I'm still going to continue to do it, but I still think people connect with people because of personalities and things like that, which you guys have talked about before. But stop so much me, and be interested in other people's stuff, comment or whatever. It makes you interesting.
Yep.
Is to
100%.
return that.
And I struggle with that too, Liz. You know, I have my Fab Over 50 and then I sprinkle business into it only because you're right. Your personal posts get all the traction. Traction gets followers. Followers get interaction. Interaction gets conversion. And so I'm kind of 2026. I'm just kind of throwing it to the wind and doing what you're doing. I'm mixing business in with my personal, and it is hard and uncomfortable.
It is.
Because, you see me sell title and then I'm at Dollar Tree. I don't know.
But I love it because you're like, trust me, I'm following. I'm like, they have stuff at Dollar Tree for that kind of stuff. That's what my husband's like, you need to go to Dollar Tree.
I
Sorry, Liz.
truly believe.
I'm a Walmart girl, by the way.
I truly believe that your people will work with you not because of where you work. They will work with you because they like you, they trust you, they feel like they've gotten value from you. And I think that it's really important for them to know who they're working with. So I always think you should mix it. It should be a good mix of your person and your business and all of those kinds of things. Now, I don't have small children. Neither do you or you. You have small children. I don't know how I would feel about mixing doing, here's my family photos and my kids and, the soccer game. I don't know how I would feel about necessarily mixing that necessarily, but
Really?
But, some people are weird about the privacy of their children.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know, but I've always mixed it all together. Throw it all in. My friends are people that would work with me. I want people that would work with me to be my friends. I think it's important.
Well, I'm going to say this. Going through right now with my personal page has gotten pretty good rhythm of posting, a lot of the content that we create. and business related stuff. But I think the mix is that is the ultimate challenge, because the best way that I could sum up what you were just talking about is that's actually who we are.
Correct.
Like in reality, that's who we are. Like you're all of those things.
There is no shame in my Facebook and my socials page.
We are all of those things. So in,
I shop
in
at Dollar
essence,
Tree.
that's the point, is that is a look into who we are.
Yeah.
It's the personal, it's the professional, it's the what do we do for fun, it's the
Totally,
educational, and in the end, that's the balance that people want to see. They may not engage because unless I have an immediate need, I'm not all that interested in listening to the work stuff.
Yep.
But I am aware that's what you do.
That's all.
And so,
that's it. That's all
and
you
so
need to
as
know.
what's
long
important.
as I'm aware that's what you do, when that need comes to
Yes.
fruition, that's when I seek back. I stay engaged with you on the personal stuff because I can relate to that daily.
Yeah.
So I think where I think it's complicated is that it's easy to mix up the response, the views, the interactions, like the social media measurement with what the actual business intention is. Like a viral video, very few business posts go viral or get a ton of posts. Most of the time, it's the personal stuff, like you just described.
So is.
But we're measuring that, and in reality, the 300 people that look at the business post, that's your business audience that you
Correct.
want
You
to
just
see
said
it.
300 people.
300.
Yes, you're like,
Liz, that's
for
a
free.
lot.
That's a lot, right?
Like, take it.
And then you look at the post that has 15,000, and you're going, well, that 300 was nothing. But you're measuring it.
No,
in
because you
different
wanna-
measurements.
Great call out.
But you know what I do? I will go if I see like one of those virals that show up in my thread and I like it and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I'm like looking at how much like how much attention they got, and then I'll go to their page and I'll go through all their other videos and I'm like, I like that person, like based off of just that one that came across my feed. I'm all speaks my language. I'm in. Right.
Yep,
So
yep.
it's that one little engagement, because we did like a, you were here that day. We did those little videos out there.
On the stairs. I actually was the one holding the camera.
Yes. Photo
Did
credit to
I,
you.
did I
Photo
get
credit to you.
did I
That's why-
get credit for that? I don't.
So, well, we did a few of those, right? So,
Those were cute.
okay. And out of a 4-second video, I'm like, how did 4 seconds get that many views? Well,
What'd you-
how many more people
what'd you
came?
get?
No, this one was like 8,900 on something that was 4 seconds long.
Yeah.
And it was silly and funny. And then I'm like, you go and you track your measurements, because you're like, if I'm going to do this, spend the time to do this, how many people are going to follow me? And now like I'm in front of, and I was like, that got me 20 followers. Like, I'll take it. Right. I'm not somebody that's trying to go viral. I'm just trying to get the more people engaged. I don't care about my numbers per se. What's going to turn into a transaction. So, for me, if I get 2 or 3 leads just starting out right now, that's golden for me. I didn't have to go look for those. I did a 4-second video and somebody reached out. Done.
See, that's the right measurement. I just think that what makes the whole subject of blending them complicated is because it's 2 distinct audiences.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's one audience, but it's 2 distinct kind of points of content that you're addressing. So the engagement's going to be different. Like,
Correct.
what am I going to say to the educational real estate or mortgage video if I'm not in that space? But I can relate to you being at the mall or you being, with your family. Like, that's relatable no matter what. And I
Yes.
think that's the I think advice we all have to kind of remind ourselves is don't measure those as the same thing.
At all.
Yeah.
Because that's where it gets hard. And then the idea of mixing, I think it goes back to have some sort of a plan, like try to mix up with regularity, because at some point, if you post too much of one thing and don't mix the other,
Yep.
then
You lose people.
You lose a little of one or the other.
Correct.
But
I think I need to be better about the work thing. I just didn't
Me
want that
too.
page to be all about work. And I think I put myself in other people's shoes. So I hate to say this out loud, but I think when people hear reverse mortgage, they're like, right? And especially when you're trying to target a younger audience of realtors, what is going to speak to them that can help them create another opportunity? I'm in that kind of in between phase of like just hitting that younger demographic of realtors, because I'm pretty well covered with the seasoned realtors. So I mean, I did one that was kind of like talking their game and talking their language, right? And I'm like, how can I resonate to everybody? But it's hard because I don't want them to tune out because reverse is boring to people or because they don't know what it is. And so I'm kind of going back to basics again. I just did what I did for my content. And I'm like, okay, I got to go back to basics and start with what is a reverse mortgage? Super simple for the new people on my page that have grown in the last couple of years because I've had growth. So I'm all, okay, it's like the whole reintroduction. You got to go out and reintroduce yourself. The girl who does my video content, she's young, she's 23, and the first time she came over and she's like, when I left here, I was too embarrassed to ask you what a reverse mortgage was. And she's like, I had to go back. And she's like, she gave me great advice. She's like, do you think you could dumb it down a little bit? Because I think a lot of people don't know. She's not in the industry. And I was all, thank you for that feedback. You're 23. Thank you. Somebody so young that was like, I don't know what it is. I had to go back and search it, which was like, eye-opening.
There's two things wrong with the reverse mortgage. One, people don't know what it is. And two, they've heard so many different myths, they're scared of it.
Misconceptions.
So the misconceptions, and all of that. So if I was going to attack the reverse mortgage world, that's what I'd be doing.
That's what I just
exactly.
did. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah.
You said something in there about obviously the 4-second clip too, and I think that's the thing. Being as short as possible is actually the most advantageous thing that you can make. It's really hard to do when you're trying to educate.
Correct.
Because nothing is that easy to explain in 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Yeah, totally. That's the hard part.
But there actually is a methodology. If you can just go, I'm not actually trying to explain the whole story. One simple thing, because you will actually hit more people because that one thing can inspire them to do what you just talked about. Go a little deeper. If that one nugget and then go to another one that's like people will engage in 15-second, 10-second increments for 20 videos, but they won't give you 2 minutes to watch a whole video. Like
I try to do all mine in a minute, and even a minute for me, I'm like, because I'll look at other people's content and I'm like,
Yeah, if it's longer than 30 seconds.
I'm like, and here's what people are doing with my content because it's a minute long.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So it's
Very
interesting. The whole like trying to stay up with it and just to be able to get the most reach and give the people the most value is, I think, always going to be evolving because of the algorithms and how they work.
100%. I'm going to go back to what you said. People buy on tonality and emotion. So you talked about how you helped an 82-year-old stop driving for Uber. She didn't have to do that anymore because you put her into a reverse mortgage vehicle, right? And that is, like, I'm still thinking about that. That's so impactful. If you could harness that in social media instead of, I closed 16 million. We see a lot of real estate agents, some lenders who say, I closed 23 million and whatever it is. And I think that if you can tap into the emotion side of your business, that's where you win. And it's hard to do, but if you really embrace video, you can do it. And I think another really pro tip, if you're going to keep people watching a minute video, which is a good length to have, you have to have a curiosity at the beginning. So they kind of almost can't know what you're talking about, but enough that they'll keep watching. So that curiosity loop is huge.
It's like what they say with phrases. Like I did start with the phrase with, this is going to be an unpopular topic in reverse mortgage. Boom.
Perfect.
What are you going to talk about, Liz? Because all you ever have to say is the good stuff. What are you going to say? Right. So
I love that.
So let me ask you guys this. What is the most popular videos, shorts, clips, reels, whatever you want to call it? What are the most popular ones that everybody watches probably the entire length of the video?
The ones that are the most humble and the ones that people fail.
Sometimes. Fails. But it's always something emotional. It's always
emotional.
A fail or and I'll tell you what it really is. It's animal rescues. Get the most views. Look it up. I was looking it up the other day. It was animal rescues where you see somebody in need, an animal, and all of a sudden someone's picking them up. then they show they're in the hospital, then they're bottle feeding them or whatever the case is. And in the end, they're
emotional.
playing the
And they're like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you watch the whole thing.
you watch the
They're
whole
always
damn
3
thing.
minutes long.
And half the time,
You're already crying.
and there's some other reasons why, but I get like, it's like, oh my God, I can't. Okay, I'm going to watch it again.
I'm with you.
And the reason why I bring this up is if you can tap into the emotional process of humor, like fails, or saving someone,
Correct.
and tap into people's emotion, that right there, she just said it. I'm still thinking about it. That's what she just made the comment. I'm still sitting here thinking about the 82-year-old woman. And so you tapped into her emotion, and I would think, especially in the reverse mortgage area, that probably more than anything is the ongoing story that people would watch. There was, and I think I mentioned this last week, or there was this video where this lady couldn't heat her house. She was in her 80s. She called a tree service because she was asking if they could come down and cut her tree down so that she could have lumber to firewood. Yeah. And this guy showed up. He recorded it and said, I've brought you an entire truckload of wood from another job. And he said, you don't.
Yeah.
See, like so impactful.
Yeah.
So impactful.
And she broke down crying.
Yeah.
I love it, Buzz.
So
Yeah, it is. It's
the emotional part of it is what I would be leaning in, because people would watch 5 minutes if they could see people, changing people's lives like that.
I'll try to do more of that. It's hard because
it's hard.
Okay, so this year was 2025 was a really tough year in the middle of the year because I had, I think I had like 3 transactions going and we're all good. One of them died during transaction, and then the other one died after we got clear to close. And for me, it was my husband. After all of that happened, I mean, you really do talk to these people so much. I mean, it's incredible. The relationships you have in a short period of time, you have the most connection with a reverse mortgage client because of their need to connect. I mean, for them, a lot of them are by themselves, right? But it was really hard because I didn't think it was going to affect me at all because I've been doing this for so long. For like a month, Scott's like, what's up, Liz? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I feel like it's too much sometimes emotionally because for somebody like me, I'm not about the transaction. Like these people call me, they're now my best friends. They don't lose my number. I ask them not to lose my number before, during, after the transaction. I'm going to be here. And I do stay true to that. And it took me a couple months to get out of it because you really are dealing with the end of life. And I didn't realize it until that happened. Yes, that happens often in our industry, but not within the same month. It was just a lot emotionally. And Scott's like, you need a timeout. Like, you're really emotionally involved with your clients and it's starting to like take a toll. And so it took me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I need a little bit of a timeout. I need to mourn because I felt that's what was happening. And so I did step back, took some time to myself, and just like had my own mourning session, whatever that may have been to me, because they're not family, but as much as you talk to them and as much as you interact with them, it was a loss. It was a loss. It felt like very much. So it's like you said, emotional. And so I need to be better about that. But it was, I don't know, it felt personal. So sometimes you don't share those things. I did post on that. And you're right, because I said, hey, it's been really heavy. I posted and I got a ton of interaction on that because I was real.
Yeah.
Well,
and other people tap into that emotion.
That's right.
And they're going, whether they say it outright, I believe that when you tap into emotion, you want to be part of that whole process. It's like, for weeks after I saw that video, it was like, how can I do that? How can I use my truck, buy firewood, and find people that I can give them a cord of wood? And people want to be part of it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Without question. Well, as people focus on executing and doing what we're talking about and creating connections and creating a business that thrives off of that, do you have any tips for us this week, Julie?
I do have some social media tips, but my tip for planning and getting through your day and accomplishing everything is obviously the Miracle Morning. I love it. Even if you don't follow it to a T, I think the concepts in it, if your morning sets up your entire day. So I think that I would put that number one. So tips, social media tips, I would say, have your face in the video within 6 seconds. If you're going to post a video, wait at least 2 hours before you post a second one. If you have a viral video, wait 4 to 5 hours before you post another one behind it. I researched this. I was prepared today, Phil. I'm trying to think what else.
I like it.
I know, right? There's some good pro tips. Obviously, use your authentic voice. I think if you're getting started, you need to make shorter videos because your engagement will increase. And if your engagement increases, then they'll push your video out faster. Just as a reminder, you don't get credit for a view unless they watch the video in its entirety. So
Wait, what?
Yeah. So a view, they have to watch it from start to finish in order for it to count. So if you get, like your short video got a lot of traction because it was too late before they could even log off. It was 4 seconds. So that counted as a full view. So the algorithm pushed it out. And algorithms are built on a backwards triangle where once you reach this, it pushes it out to 100,000 more and then 200,000. And that's why you see your viral videos just in one day going from 200,000 to 500 because they're checking all the boxes. People are sharing it and they're watching it and it's tired.
Is that why my Bradley Cooper post at Bottle Rock got like 50,000?
Probably. Yes, because people wanted to watch it and and so
he was like right there. Literally, I walked up to him hoping that he would like sign something and he didn't. And had Scott like videotape that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, what just happened? Like literally, it was 2 seconds. I forgot if that was that was one of those that went crazy. I was like, that was my first experience of anything going viral. So good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I'll speak to TikTok. It's done on a point system. So if you view it as a point, if they comment, it's more points. If they forward it, it's even more points. Once you have a certain amount of points, it escalates to the next audience, which is usually a lot bigger. Gotcha. So you just got to get to that first level. So I would say if you're starting out, a shorter video is better than a long one.
And you'll see this a lot lately. And I've noticed this, you know what I search all the time. Animal shelters do this, where they'll actually say, please watch to the end so that we get credit. They'll actually say it across the bottom. And it almost, I can name you 3 or 4 animal shelters that's what they say at the very beginning. It'll go, please watch to the end so that we get credit. And so you have to, and usually I'll watch it twice.
I always do.
You know, and I'll like
animals.
it.
I always do.
But so that's why they're doing it, is because they get full credit.
And it moves them up to the next more views.
That point, though, I think is so important, again, for people who are trying to figure this out. We just had this great discussion on it, but 4 and 5 second videos.
That's too short. I would say 7 would be the minimum.
Right. So you can get a point across at least.
The point,
yeah, I gotta
get something right.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times too, that shorter content, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Very rarely when I talk to people who are trying to kind of really try to start engaging, do they understand that, right? Like most of what they're thinking is I have to have long, very like extended explanations.
I
about
stutter
things.
for.
Who wants
I
to
stutter.
have a long
It takes
video?
you
The
40
quickest I
seconds
can
to
get it
spit out the
done.
sentence. So-
I stutter for 10 or 15 seconds. So
No, but I think it's just it's almost like it should take the pressure off for people to recognize, like, if I actually don't have to, and I think that's one of the things about what we're doing here that is why I think it's so important is when you are in a comfortable conversation, it is easier if you have a system like we built to clip that down and get those shorter clips, and you're not trying to be perfect in this delivery, and then you're being more authentic and being more genuine and saying things that are coming from, you know, an actual place of just a genuine response. And I think a lot of times it's overthought, and it goes into, I see a lot of people doing a lot on social media, and I'll tie this thought because I think it's a good way to kind of pivot our conversation a little bit too, which is you can tell they're spending a tremendous amount of energy and they're very busy, but it's not productive.
Oh, there's such a difference in those two. Yeah.
And we all know, like in life, like people all the time, every time you call them, oh, I'm so busy. It's like, but you're not doing anything productive. You just like being busy.
That's another word I took out of my vocabulary on top of goals.
Busy?
Busy?
Right. Never say it.
I don't.
Say it.
No, you don't. You're never too busy. You just have to change your priorities.
Right.
Pay me. I'll say it.
But that's people that talk about it. I mean, I've had a lot of conversations, I would say, in the last few months, just throughout the industry, whether it was a recruiting conversation with a loan officer or, you know, even real estate agents where, you know, you look at their numbers, you're not blowing it out of the water productive, you know, on a production level, but you're extremely busy, and the busyness doesn't correlate to the results. You go, then either you're doing the wrong things, not saying the right things, spending in the right area, or you're mixing up the idea of being busy as being productive. And I think that's the pause moment of what's productive, what's intentionally going to create results.
I changed it to blessed. When people say, how's business? I'm blessed. And if it's not blessed, I'm super, it sucks. Like, I'm very one or the other because it is what it is. There's no like gray, you know? It's just, that word overused again. Yeah. I've changed a lot of words in my vocabulary. I would say since COVID, just, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally agree. Well, I think the social media conversation, that the two are the same to me, right? Like day-to-day activities in the professional, you know, world, whatever you're doing as an originator, as a real estate agent, title, lending. Social media's got the same thing. I see people that are posting constantly, and there's just you can tell there's no strategic plan behind it.
Can I ask about that? That brings up a really good thing. So I see a lot of people in our industry, whether it be a lender or anybody in the industry, they're posting the same thing, like these short, well, like we talked about, right? They're doing a lot of them. And when I say a lot, it's every day. It's like kind of the same thing, face in it, voice in it, but they don't get a lot of traction. So is that really a strategic plan? Is that a way? Because the numbers aren't there. The views aren't there. Like, I'm really nosy. So I go to views and see what types of views are they getting? How many likes, even though I really don't measure that, but you see it. So is it working? Is that a good strategy?
I think it can be if they're consistent, but they mix it in with value. But I do know what you're saying. Is what they're saying impactful? Like I do, like they'll do shots of just a house or whatever. It's also that consistency of she's always forward facing. She's always growing her audience. Even if she gets 1 to 2 followers on that post that only got 9 views, it's still 1 to 2 followers times 365 days. She's still building her audience. But you almost have to have a social media manager to do that kind of content because it's so much.
Because sometimes I kind of check out on stuff like that.
Yes.
So I'm like,
I'm not follling. What subject are they talking about, or are they not talking about?
Different. It could be personal. It could be work related, but at the same time, they all look the same. So for me, it's just like you sometimes need to change it up a little bit.
100%.
You need to evolve. You need to, if you're not changing, you're not evolving, you're not keeping up with it. You're just the same. I get bored with the same thing.
Yes.
Unless it's my husband, I'm good. But, no, it's same doesn't work for me all the time because I think this industry is changing quickly.
very quickly. I think a strategist would put like a value item, a business item, a personal, right? That's how it should be. Not driving in my car every day at 9, putting on my lipstick. Probably not that. But so do I think those are a value? Not so much. But I'm not a pro.
Yeah, you are. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, I think the strategy around it is important. I think most people's pages are, to me, they're almost like a time machine for the journey, and the most successful are very easy to go backwards and kind of see where they started and how the progression is. And so when I watch it, I tend to be less judgmental. It's like, where are you? If you're being consistent, to me, that's credit for the start of like, you've committed a plan to being consistent, because that's the hardest thing.
Correct.
You can't refine and polish and get more targeted in your messaging until you have at least begun the consistency part. And then you can start to figure out the creativity within it. And the other part, I think, is making it more automated. So if there's less thought that goes into your ability to post, then there's more creative time to think about the things that you can do, as well, as opposed to the pressure of, I have to come up with something. Yeah. And obviously AI does a lot of that for a lot of people, you can tell.
Thank God.
But even in the AI, that's where you can already start to see, like, oh, you're going to the same place to get the same content.
Correct.
And so then it's losing a little bit of its originality.
Correct.
So you as a human have to come up with your own spin on it to create the connection. So it's you. It's, you can get a lot of the ideas, but I think it's hard for me to knock anyone that's doing it consistently, because that's so much harder to do than to come up with one creative post or two. And eventually, to your point, that's, the most important thing is what you do with it after, right? I mean, first is the views, but then it's what do you do with it on the business front? Are you trying to influence as a recruiter, as a connecting with a customer base? And it's all mixed up in there. A lot, when I see posts where people are bragging about their numbers, I look at it more like that's a recruiting post. I look at it like that's an advertisement to industry peers that want to come and follow your lead or want to learn from you.
Or maybe they want to recruit people that aren't in the industry to come try
that as well. I tend to look at it like that. More or less seems like it's targeted at an industry professional that's a peer-to-peer kind of advertisement, because yes, a customer that sees, I've sold 200 million. I just saw one on my way in this morning. Someone posted that 200 million sold in real estate or whatever it was. So it was a number, it was a year-end total type of thing. I don't think I even knew the person, but yes, there's customers that would go, oh, they've sold 200 million in real estate. They may not have any idea whether that's relative to someone. Is that good? Is that bad? Like, I don't actually know if I'm just a client, but someone in the industry would know where that stacks up.
Yeah. California versus Missouri.
Right. That's true. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't engage, to me, as much in whether or not I think the posts are as targeted, as much as I just appreciate people I can see, okay, you're starting to do it, and I watch the progression.
Yeah, I like the whole journey story, because I used to cringe when I started doing video.
I still do on mine.
And
so I get it.
And you could kind of tell. Like, I go back and I'm like, well, that looks really bad. But now I go, all right, I'm pretty proud of myself, because I stuck with it, as much as I still hate it every single day. I don't, and none of us like it.
It keeps pushing it further and further down.
But I say most people don't like it. Like, it's not, because it's weird to be doing it. So I get it.
Yeah. Unless it's a fun thing, and unless it's a personal thing. That's why, like, for me, the whole personal thing is so much easier, because I'm just like, it's like my family, our trips, connecting with people, my girlfriends, like, all of that stuff is so easy for me to be on camera about and like do all these, reels on. I love that. And my friends are like, we took our trip, we went with another couple, and the wife's friends are like, take all the pictures, send us all the pictures. And she's like, I don't gotta take any pictures. I'm with Liz. And so at the end of the trip, we're our shared album. She's like, I know how you are about capturing all the moments. And she used to be the one, because we would do Friendsgiving, and I take all the pictures and do a reel at the end. And every time I was out with my camera, she's like, "Are you taking pictures again?" And now she's that girlfriend's like, "Can you send me all the pictures?" But it's just the journey. It is everything, whether it be personal or work related. It's a journey. And I do like to go back and look at those people that I've seen evolve so much. And I'm like, oh my God, you've come such a long way. Good for you. You stuck with it.
Yep, absolutely. Big time. So did you have any more tips for the social? I want to make sure we get them in this week.
Oh, I have one. I lost it. If I think of it, I'll come back to you. I did. I thought of one, but I can't remember right now.
Perfect. Well, Buzz, how about the market update? I mean, it's been so much. We're a couple days in the year, and everything's changed.
This year has sucked. No, I'll tell you just in a real quick snapshot, the last 12 business days, we've stayed above the moving averages, which we look at the markets. What was the average over the last 25 days? What was it? 50 days, 100, 200 days. So the last 12 business days, we're actually above the average, which is a good trend. But this week, we are ending the week with worse interest rates than what we started. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're basically flat, but Wednesday, right as we were taking off, the market kind of sold off and we saw interest rates jump back up. Today, of course, we've been in here for an hour, but flat to a little bit worse. A lot of this can be traced back, though. Not a lot of financial reports coming out right now. It's Christmas. It's New Year's. The markets, a lot of these financial traders, bond traders, people like that, they actually take off for the long weekend. Mm-hmm. I mean, why wouldn't you? And
for the long two week weekend.
Two long weekends right in a row. And so you don't have a lot of financial news. You have a lot of people taking off. They like to take their money and they squirrel it away in cash assets. So it's not uncommon for the markets to be flat to a little bit worse just because of the money that's pulled out. And I think that next week what we'll see is going back to the technicals. I do think that we'll stay in this range a little bit better. So not a lot to report. I will say from a standpoint of the mortgage industry, one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is as we start the year, credit report costs will increase pretty dramatically. And some of the ways that we handle credit reports and the ability for loan officers to, hey, I'll just pull your credit report and tell you how you're looking. That's going to get harder and harder because of the cost increases. I'll tell you that mortgage companies, like the size of Big Valley Mortgage, unpaid credit reports for the year are well into six figures.
I believe that.
On a year-to-year basis, because that's just been the standard. Oh, let me run your credit report.
Well, we have to find out, right?
And that's FICO scoring has become so important that you can't just say,
unless
I have
it's a
okay
reverse
credit.
Mortgage.
What?
Unless it's a reverse mortgage.
Unless it's a reverse mortgage. But anyway, so that's going to be one of the struggles as mortgage companies come into the new year and start trying to figure out, how do I handle this? And so that's going to be one of the big focuses as we start the year. I'm excited. This is going to be I was going to say busy. This is going to be a very intentional year for us.
That's a great word.
And the events that we want to do with our realtors, partners, and our past clients, lots of stuff that we've got planned for the year. It's going to be a very intentional year.
I love it.
And I think that it's going to be a better year just because of what we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. So, hey, we're here. It's no longer thinking or planning. It's just doing now. Correct. We're here. Giddy up.
Create those habits.
Yep.
Yes.
That's it. Do not wait.
Do not wait.
Don't
I have my
overthink.
tip ready for you. I figured it out.
Fire it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're struggling for content, one of my pro tips is go to your search bar, put in something that interests you, like Liz, you'd put in reverse mortgage, see the top videos that have the most traction come in, and then copy them verbatim and make them your own.
Yep.
Always use your voice, not a voiceover. And if you need to speed up your content time, do a 1-to-1 voice ratio. So all your videos should be sped up to a 1.1 because it will take 5 to 10 seconds off the video, which is impactful.
Okay.
That's it.
1.1.
That's your tip.
Like it.
What does a
Love that.
Texas accent sound like at that?
Ooh, I don't know if you can do a 1-to-1. You might want to slow that down to a 09.
Wow. Wow.
tip,
That is
guys.
just, that is kind of hurtful.
That's a good one.
Fantastic. Well, Liz, so appreciate you being here today.
You. Thanks, you guys. Happy New Year.
Thank
know
you,
what?
Liz.
How blessed am I to be able to be here with you guys first one of the year. So thank you for having
It's
me.
it's intentional.
Thank
Yes. Love it.
He's going to use that word like he uses obviously now.
Yep. I didn't say obviously the whole day, did I?
I don't think you
I don't
did.
think I heard it.
Yeah, that's one of the tips that him and I are judging each other, not judging, coaching each other
Coaching.
on words that we say over and over.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
One of mine was obviously.
What's one of Phil's?
He started using the word like.
I use like a lot, and I say absolutely. quite a bit as
Absolutely.
I think I say absolutely.
That's my
You said
agreement
like.
word. I when I
You know
agree
why?
with people.
Because I feel like I'm still a valley girl from way back.
Yeah, I watched a couple clips, and I was, wow! I just said like 5 times in that sentence. Okay,
Do you remember that
I
movie?
gotta remember. I gotta correct myself here.
Julie doesn't really have any of those habits. She's pretty.
I'm telling you because she's the pro. That's why we're
She's
asking her
pretty
all
smooth.
the questions.
That's one of my
Absolutely.
favorite things about doing this, and between the episodes we've done here, my the other podcast, Triple J Sports Podcast, I get to watch people who you can tell have really spent time on it or really comfortable, like spending time with you guys, and it's a great way to grow. It's a great way to judge yourself, right, and get through the discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said several times, I still cringe every time I watch myself, mostly because I'm just having this conversation. I don't watch my own episodes over. I don't watch myself talk. When I do, I very quickly I'm uninterested in watching my own.
Oh no!
I
but
was
you
there. I
have-
heard
yeah,
it.
You should though. As much as I cringe, it helps me grow.
Yeah.
Well, and so when I watch it, it's for that purpose, right? But as far as
definitely.
actually watching it to be, oh, look at that, it's cool. I only watch it to self-critique, and that's really.
And it is
the
hard because
purpose.
sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's what I look like. Still.
Yeah, won't wear that shirt again.
Yes. I'm still. I brought my sparkle.
Or
I
those
had
shoes,
to-
or yeah.
Always shoes are-
Well, obviously, it's a great start to the year.
Yes, it is.
Thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you,
to
Buzz
be
and
with
Phil.
you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
being here.
Fantastic. Well,
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to everybody, and Happy New Year to our audience. Thank you very much for tuning in. For all of us here, that's another episode. I'm your host, Phil Rasmussen. Have a great week, and have a great 2026.